Let's finish up our finger controls. It's now time to apply orientation constraints. Let's go ahead and get started. So with the index finger selected, that's index B, we'll orientation constrain that to its control object. Great. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the other fingers. So again, we grab the bone object and orientation constrain it to its control. I'll pause the video and do that on my end. I'll take care of the other controls, and when I come back, we'll then be ready to do some parameter wiring work to finish up. Once all bones have been orientation constrained, we're then ready to do some parameter wiring work. Let's go ahead and get started. We could always start with the thumb. So the first thing we want to do is figure out our bend axis. That's the Z. And then when we get to our metacarpal bones, we'll need to also figure out our yaw axis, which of course is the Y axis. So knowing that, we can now start to wire parameters. I'll grab the thumb control, and then right-click and choose Wire Parameters, Modified Object, Extra Controls, Custom Attributes, Mid. And that'll be wired into the bone object's Rotate Z-axis. Let's go ahead and load that in. And there it is. So that's mid to Z. Let's go ahead and connect. Remember to use the deg to rad function just to get smoother control. We choose connect. Sweet. If we were to test this out, watch. And we've seen this already. Now as we start to use the custom parameter, we're able to control that axis. Fantastic stuff. All right, let's go ahead and continue. We'll now go ahead and load in the next bone object, which is thumb C. And then from there, we'll go ahead and choose end. Let's go ahead and find the Z-axis. There it is. We'll add our function, and we'll then connect. All right, fantastic. Now, before we test this out, let's go ahead and add the next bone the same way. So we'll load it in, and we'll connect into the Z-axis. We'll add our function, and then we'll be ready to test after we apply the expression. All right, sweet. I'll go ahead and close out of the parameter wiring dialog. We'll then go ahead and grab our control, and we should get this additive type of rotation where both bone objects will rotate as we start to adjust the parameter. And that's how we'll hold volume. So watch this. Let me go ahead and bring the character back so you can see. So we start to rotate the finger. You can see how well we're holding volume here. Really exciting stuff. Great. I'll go ahead and right-click to zero out the end parameter. And we'll want to do the same thing for the other finger bones. So when it comes to the metacarpal bone, let's go ahead and have a look at that. I might go ahead and press F3 to go to wireframe mode. We'll then go ahead and select the control of the index finger. Let's now right-click and choose Wire Parameters. That'll be Modified Object, Extra Controls, Custom Attributes, Meta Pitch. Remember, this will drive the Z-axis of that bone. There we go. So that's going to be Transform, Rotation, Zero Euler, Z. Let's go ahead and add our function. And then once we've done that, we'll connect. And let's say we go ahead and test this out. I'll go back to shaded mode. And we'll start to use the pitch parameter. So take a look. We get this type of sliding effect with the finger where it's not quite driving the entire chain, it's only shifting the metacarpal. So we have a very flexible rig here. Super exciting stuff. And then we can go ahead and grab our control, and we can start to use that to offset the finger. Neat. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually take these finger controls. Let me go ahead and zero this out. You can actually take these, and you can link to the metacarpal bone. That way, as we start to drive this property, the control will shift. So let me go ahead and show you that. What I'll do is go ahead and hide the character. And let's go ahead and take the control and link to the bone before it. Again, that's going to be index A. Nice. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and freeze our transforms. You'll notice that when we start to use the meta pitch property, now the control is moving. So this is another option you have. How cool. And of course, we can still go in and rotate the control directly. So if you'd like, you can actually go ahead and link the other controls to the metacarpal bone, if that type of system will be better for you. Looks really neat, right? So I'm going to link the other controls. We'll go ahead and freeze them, and then we'll be ready to wire parameters. I'll do the same thing on the right hand to finish up, and that's it for this lesson. So now, guess what? The control rig is finished. It's just a matter of going through and doing some cleanup work. So we'll begin that in the next lesson.